Thanks so much for joining me for this Reinvent Your Mornings workshop. I am thrilled that you've taken the time to either join me live or watch the replay because we all want to start the morning with more energy and more intention. And I'm going to show you how to do that. So, if you had registered for this webinar or with this for this workshop, you would have received the handouts. And the handouts, one is the morning routine, and one is the daily planning pages. So I'll be referring to that during the workshop, and and I will also include it in the chat as well. So you can open up the handout if you haven't received it. If you are watching this on replay and you hadn't pre-registered, you can definitely get the downloads. Just respond back to the email when we send out this replay that you need the downloads for the Reinvent Your Mornings workshop. Okay, so let's get into this. The goal of the workshop really is so you create your own morning routine. I have, and I will be going through the principles of the intentional morning that actually I have a digital course called the Intentional Morning. And those of you who pre-registered did get access to those videos. And in each of the video, I explain the different principles, and I'll be referring to them today. But I want you to make sure that you know you don't have to start doing all of the principles. Just start with one or two things. That's how I started. A little bit about me. I am a mom of four and I'm a health and life coach. In addition, I'm a speech pathologist. I work with brain rehabilitation. I have a private clinic. For many of my clients and even my patients, the morning routine is fundamental. My story of why I truly believe it all starts in the morning is many years ago, I definitely was not a morning person, and I would say I'm still not really a morning person. However, I get up with such purpose and I enjoy getting up earlier in order to complete this intentional morning. It wasn't always this way. As a busy mom, I barely got myself out of bed trying to get the kids ready for school while I was trying to get to work. It just was a complete hot mess. I talked to a friend and she had said she wakes up early and she works out. And I thought to myself, and I even said it to her, I said, I will not wake up early to work out or to do anything. I need my sleep. But as the months went on, I became more frustrated and discouraged because one, I didn't have time to really put a workout into my route into my day because I was working, taking the kids to activities. I just was so busy. And then I didn't want to work out at 6 o'clock at night or seven. So I bit the bullet and I purposely woke up a little bit earlier to get a real short workout in. And then when that was consistent, I woke up even a little bit earlier so I had time to meditate. And then I worked out. And then I added more to my morning routine. So that's what I mean is that you don't have to start with doing six or seven things all in the morning or at any routine. This is really a suggestion for anything that you want to introduce into your life. I think we as human beings, we're so tempted in like diving in with everything. Like we're going to do everything. But what we find is it's really hard to change everything all at once. And if we can just add in habits and make them consistent, we get wins every morning and wins every day. So I hope that I will encourage you after this workshop to implement your own morning routine. So we talked about the handouts. the access to the intentional morning course. And of course, if you're listening to this, respond to the email, or you can send an email to heathercolwichwellness@gmail.com, and we'll just send you the access to those intentional morning courses. When we're looking at, I'm going to share my screen so you can, everyone can follow along here. All right. Okay. So, why do we want to have a morning routine? Why? Why is it important? Well, I will share the benefits. I'll share the benefits in a few moments, but I want you to think about it. Like, why did you register for this webinar? Why do you want to have a morning routine? I once, I think it was a couple weeks ago, someone had posted, I was just following something on social media, and someone was asking, what kind of health advice do you need? And predominantly, the biggest answer was a morning routine. And that's why I thought, okay, this is why I want to share with people that I think people may think it's harder than it really is, or that they have to wake up 2 hours earlier. You really don't have to wake up super early to get a morning routine. It's a mindset shift. It's a mindset shift. So you're not jumping into the day and just looking at your phone right away, making up breakfast for someone else right away. It is waking up with intention, with purpose, with gratitude, with such a shift of mindset. So let's get into some of the benefits of a morning routine. Research has shown, and if you do watch any of the high performance business leaders, entrepreneurs, like really highly productive people in this world, the most common thing that everyone has is a morning routine. They rely on routines, especially in the morning. If you listen to any podcast of a high achieving business owner or athlete, morning routines are so crucial. And why is it? Well, they've been shown to increase productivity, decrease overall stress, supports the development of healthy habits. So this is a really big one because you can knock off quite a few healthy habits, or at least get some momentum in these healthy habits in the morning. A morning routine helps to improve your focus and attention. And overall, you start your day with intention. There's also some benefit that has been shown that sleep consistency improves, because if you know that you're waking up a little earlier, you're going to get to sleep at a good time. You won't continue to stay up late scrolling, watching TV. You know how we all do. We can get in that habit. And when you really prioritize a morning routine, your sleep will improve. Now, initially, you will feel tired. You're going to be like, oh, this is hard getting up earlier. But when you have that motivation and have a plan in place, is what you'll have after this workshop, that this will be a key thing for you to do. Now, overall, the other thing I want to say is a benefit of a morning routine is it creates this win, an immediate win in the day. It creates self-discipline, that you are doing something that is scheduled. You have this win and this self-discipline that you have cultivated. Now, moving on to what are the principles of a morning routine? And on the morning routine handout, there is there there are quite a few suggestions. Meditation, prayer or devotion, visualization, affirmations, reading, journaling, planning your day, working out. Now, don't worry. I don't want you to think that, oh my gosh, this all sounds so great, but how am I going to do it? Remember, we're going to start small. On the morning routine handout, there's actually a lines with little check boxes. So this is where you're going to use it to write down the first two or three things that you want to set up in your morning routine. So with these principles, how do you create a morning routine? Like, what are the first steps? It's important to know when you have to wake up. Like, when do you want to start your routine? What I would suggest is if you normally wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning, let's just use that. It could be earlier, it could be later. So think of, well, I'd like to have maybe 20 minutes for my morning routine. That's a good number to start with, or even 30 minutes. So that means that you set the alarm to wake up at 6:30. Where are you going to do your morning routine? Now, the best suggestion is to have a really cozy chair or sofa that you have your basket, which will have your book, your journal, maybe a candle that you put out and light as you're starting your morning routine. Having a place that is designated for you to do your morning routine will make it so much easier. You're definitely not doing it in the bed. I would suggest you're getting out of the bed into a comfortable chair. It's not on the floor. You want to be as comfortable as possible. After you've decided when and where, you're going to use the morning routine handout to choose the steps. Like I had said, it's there's a space for you. I'm not sure if you can see that. There's just a space to brainstorm the list of things that you want to put on and really prioritize. So let's think about this I before we move on. What I'd like to do is have you pick, as I'm going through each one, pick which principle, which habit that you want to insert into and be part of this morning routine. So, first off, do you want to meditate? Now, I do recommend that one for everyone. With the meditation, where will you get the meditation? A quick and easy way is finding one on YouTube. I do have meditations in my brain health program that I offer to my clients, but also you may have an app that you know of. Pick it beforehand so you have the meditation ready to go, that you're not fumbling around for it in the morning, that you know how you want to meditate. Now, if you're new to meditation, the other thing is in my brain health program, I have a meditation module where I actually teach how to meditate and we go through different examples. When you meditation is important to start the first thing in your morning routine. It's because you're waking up and you're gently waking up your brain. When you're going into meditation from sleep, your brain is already open for, it's not starting to worry about the day. It's already open for possibility. And we want to keep it that way. And meditation, I find, is a really good segue from sleep to starting the day. So, meditation would be the first thing on your morning routine. Now, the next two are really optional, but I do suggest that you add them at some point. Do you want to add in visualization and affirmations? Affirmations are something that we go into continuously in the brain health program because they are how we are thinking. That will affect what we're doing. So, how do you want to think? What is your affirmation for the day? I am strong and healthy. I am in control of my health and life choices. So, as you're going through this, maybe prayer is something that you want to add to your morning routine. Write that down. Do you want to add in reading a personal development book? Do you want to add in journaling? Journaling is also a really important for us to understand and listen to how we're thinking, because it's amazing once you start journaling out your thoughts, what comes up is amazing and sometimes a little shocking of, ooh, I'm really thinking this way. Now, when we're doing that, we're looking through as journaling. There are different prompts that I do give to my coaching clients. And you're not just going to journal, you can just journal how you're feeling for sure. There's many people who do that, but often we like to journal with a prompt of, or at least about a particular situation, maybe something that's troubling you or something that you really want to make progress in. Now, the next thing in a morning routine, do you want to plan? Well, I would suggest, yes, that's another. So, not only the meditation is something that I would recommend first and foremost, but I would also recommend planning your day. And I have included the planning page so you can see, and I'll go through the principles of a daily planning because it is an important part of my morning routine is I'm planning the day. If I spend time to meditate, to visualize, to read and journal, I want to put all that good vibe, that high vibration that I have cultivated. I'm feeling good, I'm feeling positive, and then I'm thinking to myself, okay, now what do I do want to do from here? I'm feeling like there's so much possibility in the day. I'm going to schedule my day. I'm going to pick out my particular things that I want to do. So, and I'll go in a couple of slides, I'll go into that planning, those principles as well. The last thing in a morning routine is your workout. Now, of course, if you're allowing 30 minutes for your morning routine, that does not include a workout. And you can make these really short. You can do 5 minutes of meditation, 5 minutes of visualization, 5 minutes of reading, 5 minutes of journaling, 5 minutes of planning, and then get a quick workout or a walk in. But the workout or moving your body is really going to be something that you'll add to the morning routine. So make sure that you account for that as you're planning your morning routine. Okay, so by now, hopefully you've written down your 2 to 3 habits. Is it meditate, prayer, visualization, affirmation, reading, journaling, planning, working out? Which one of those? Pick 2 or 3. What are you going to start with? And make sure it's on your morning routine template. Okay, so that is what you're going to start with. Maybe pick the order. I did put this in order as far as meditate is the first thing usually in a morning routine, and then the planning is sort of it's usually at the tail end. But you can play around with, do you want to journal after your visualization and before reading? But bookend at least the meditation and the plan for on the beginning and the end of your morning routine. Okay, so I want to dive into daily planning. And this is the daily planning page, has cute little flowers on it. So planning is, I love planning. I used to think that scheduling squashed my creativity, but there is freedom in a schedule. And I truly believe this. I am more productive and happier with my results than I have been than 10 years ago. It's because I use a planning system that is compiling all of these important things in my morning routine and how I want to be intentional in my day. The principles of daily planning, making sure that you write down your goal every day because we forget our goals. Making sure that you write down your top 3 actions. Make sure that you write down your affirmations, and it is on the planning page, that affirmation. Also, make sure that you write down what you're grateful for. In all of the planning page here, this is where you can actually put your morning routine. There's like a little section that you can put your morning routine, and there's little circles that you just check off the box or the circle when you've completed it. There's a section, another particular principle is movement. What is the movement that you're going to be doing today? What are the habits? There's a section for 3 habits that you could write in. There's even 5 or 6 lines. You could put in 5 or 6 habits instead. What is, like I mentioned, the routine? We're focusing on the morning routine, but you could put other routines on here. There's self-care ideas. Self-care ideas being, are you going to get a manicure, a pedicure, maybe Epsom salt bath, maybe enjoying a nice walk outside, reading in the afternoon. And then the last section underneath all of the printed day times is today I feel blank. Now, it can be that you're writing down today I feel tired, and you can be honest at writing that down for sure. So when I showed you all of from the beginning of this presentation and this workshop, we went through the benefits of a morning routine, the principles. We went through how to create your own morning routine. And then we're ended with the planning. And as I mentioned, I really like the idea of in every morning routine, starting with a meditation, ending with planning. And the in between are really the ones that you want to choose. Do you want the meditation followed by possibly prayer, visualization, affirmation? So you can decide yourself what you need at this moment for your life and your daily goals. The key thing is really to start small. So start with 2 or 3 things and add in more to the routine as you're consistent. Now, I always say to some of my clients when they're first starting out, like they'll say, well, I had this routine, I'd love this routine. It's my ideal routine, but I'm so frustrated because I can never get it all done. And then I suggest, well, have a plan B because I often will have like a morning, usually it's Saturday morning, where I have more time. I can spend more time reading. I can spend more time journaling. I can spend more time really maybe in a Bible verse, in a devotional. I can spend and dive in a little deeper. That's my plan A. But my plan B for some of those busy days is I just make the time shorter. I still get in all of my items that I do want to do, but I make them shorter. And I actually, when I started doing this many, many years ago, I would set a little timer because once I started reading and I got dove into a really good, now I would say the reading, it's not a fiction book, it's a personal development, something that you're learning, something that's going to really grow your mind. I would get into the book and I want to continue reading, and before I knew it, it was like, oh, It's a half an hour. So I set a timer so it would just be 5 to 10 minutes of reading. I didn't read as much as I would possibly want to, but it kept me on track with the routine. So I could then stop at a certain time, plan my day, and then move on to the workout that I was going to do. All right. So, what I want to cover is if you're interested, I go deep into not just this was just covering a small portion of our morning routines, but in my 12-week brain health program, there's a new group starting August 4th. It's weekly group coaching. You set and achieve a 12-week goal. The topics, the video topics that I provide, and I'm going to show them to you in a moment. I'll actually show you the backstage of what the program looks like and the digital program. The topics include time management, habits, routines, brain health exercise, nutrition, sleep, stress management, meditation, breath work, yoga, of course, goal setting, overcoming obstacles, everything from my background from neuroscience and health and life coaching I've put into this program. There's also a bonus when people sign up by August 3rd. You will get 3 individual coaching sessions with me, and these are all virtual. So the program is online, it's digital, and the sessions would be virtual. It is an awesome opportunity to get some coaching, to really get the accountability. And every week, people are making some progress. There a lot of progress. They're having some great insight. And I've actually been joining in, of course, because a 12-week goal, every 12 weeks, I set 2 or 3 different goals. But for this brain health program, I have you set one goal. It can be a health or life goal. I have people who have a financial goal, a health goal, an environment like their home, something they want to change in their home. So it's really exciting. I want to share the backstage of this program. So let me just see. I got all these tabs open. Like, whoo, okay. Let's see. Share. Okay, I think this is the right one to share. Okay, here we go. So we're sharing this, and this is the Brain Health Boot Camp, the Brain Health 12-week Brain Health Program. So you'll see at the beginning of this program, there's a weekly group coaching recordings here, and every week. So we're the group that started a month ago, they're on week 4 right now. When you join in, you'll be joining in, it would be your week 1. The week 1, we get into goal setting, creating a vision, creating goals. Week 2, planning, habits, routines, intentional morning. This week 3, mindset, all about mindset. Overcoming obstacles is week 4. Then in the second month, we get into the brain health. You won't see videos here because they aren't live for the participants, but it's physical movement, nutrition, sleep, self-care, stress management, mindfulness, meditation, breath work, yoga, and celebrate what is next. So I'm really proud of this program that I have set up and that I have compiled all of the goodness, and I'm continuing to add in new resources. And because it's a live program, it's real time. The coaching is real time. I usually our coaching is Monday morning. Sometimes it's Monday afternoons. I alternate depending on availability, and everything is recorded. So if you can't make it live, it's all there and you'll get the support that you need. I'd love to see you there if you're interested. There will be a link to sign up, and you can definitely email us with questions. If you have questions, I can get on a call with you and answer any of those. Well, thank you everyone for joining in this Reinvent Your Mornings workshop. And I look forward to seeing you in my 12-week brain health program.